The hidden cost of looking rich. Meet two people. Person A drives a brand new SUV, wears the latest sneakers every season, and always has the newest phone in their hand. Person B drives a 7-year-old car, wears the same pair of shoes for 2 years, and still uses a phone with a cracked screen protector. Now guess, who do you think has more money in their bank account? Most people would say person A without even thinking twice. But here's the twist that surprises almost everyone the first time they hear it. In real life, it's very often person B who's quietly building wealth, while person A is one missed paycheck away from panic. This isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern. And once you understand why it happens, you'll never look at spending the same way again. We live in a world where looking rich has become more important than being rich. Think about it. When was the last time you saw someone post their savings account balance on social media? But you've probably seen dozens of posts about vacations, new cars, designer bags, and fancy dinners. That's because wealth is invisible, but the appearance of wealth is very, very visible. And our brains are wired to react to what we can see. When we see someone with a nice car, we assume they're doing well financially. We don't see their loan payments. We don't see their credit card debt. We don't see the stress they feel every month when the bill arrives. We only see the shiny surface. This creates a strange trap. Because humans are deeply social creatures, we constantly compare ourselves to the people around us. Psychologists call this social comparison. And in the modern world, this comparison isn't just with your neighbors or coworkers anymore. It's with thousands of strangers online who only show their highlight reel. So what happens? People start spending money not because it makes their life better, but because it makes them look better to others. And this single mistake, repeated over years, quietly destroys the financial future of millions of people. Let's break this down with a simple example. Imagine you earn a certain amount of money every month. Let's call it your income river. This river flows in, and every month you decide where that water goes. Some of it goes to needs: rent, food, transportation. Some of it can go to a lake, a reservoir that stores water for the future. That reservoir is your savings and investments. And some of it can go into decorations, things that look impressive on the outside but don't actually hold any water. Things like a car upgrade you didn't need, a phone you bought just because a new model came out, or clothes bought to impress people you don't even really know. The problem is, decorations feel amazing in the moment. Your brain gets a little hit of pleasure. You feel proud, confident, admired. But decorations don't grow. They don't produce anything. In 5 years, that phone will be outdated. That car will have lost most of its value, and those clothes will be out of style. But if that same money had gone into your reservoir instead, it would have grown, multiplied, and become a source of real security and freedom. Here's the part that most people never think about. Looking rich and being rich actually pull money in opposite directions. To look rich, you spend money to show people you have it. To be rich, you keep money and let it work for you quietly, without anyone noticing. That's why the SUV driver and the person with the 7-year-old car can have completely opposite financial lives, even if they earn a similar income. One is spending their river on decorations. The other is filling their reservoir. There's also a hidden cost that people rarely calculate: the cost of comparison. Let's say you upgrade your phone every year just to keep up with friends. That might feel small, just a monthly installment. But if you took that same amount and let it grow over 10 or 20 years in an investment instead, it wouldn't just add up, it would multiply. Small, consistent contributions, given enough time, tend to snowball into large amounts because of how growth compounds on itself. So the real price of that new phone every year isn't just the phone. It's the future version of that money that never got the chance to grow. This is the hidden cost of looking rich. You're not just spending money. You're spending your future. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because this isn't really about money at all. It's about psychology. Humans have a deep, ancient need to belong and to be respected within their group. Thousands of years ago, status among your tribe could mean the difference between survival and starvation, so our brains developed a powerful instinct: show your value to the group, or risk being left behind. The problem is, This instinct evolved for a small tribe of maybe 50 or 100 people. Today, thanks to social media, our tribe has exploded to thousands of strangers we compare ourselves to every single day. Our ancient brain doesn't know the difference between impressing your real community and impressing random people on a screen. It just knows something feels threatened, so spend to protect your image. This is why people often make financial decisions from a place of fear and insecurity rather than logic. Buying something expensive doesn't just satisfy a want. It temporarily silences an uncomfortable feeling of not being enough. But that relief never lasts. The comparison resets almost immediately, because there's always someone with something newer, better, or shinier. This creates a cycle some people call the hedonic treadmill. You keep running, spending more and more, but you never actually get ahead because the goalpost of enough keeps moving. Meanwhile, truly wealthy people, the ones who build lasting financial freedom, tend to operate from a completely different psychology. They've learned to separate their self-worth from their spending. Their confidence doesn't come from what others think when they see their car. It comes from the quiet security of watching their reservoir grow, month after month, year after year. That kind of confidence doesn't need an audience. This is the real difference between looking rich and being rich. Looking rich is a performance for others. Being rich is a private, patient decision made mostly when nobody's watching. So what should you actually do with this insight? First, start noticing your own decoration spending. Before a purchase, ask yourself an honest question. Am I buying this because it genuinely improves my life, or because I want someone to notice it? There's no shame in wanting nice things, but knowing your real motivation puts you back in control instead of your emotions. Second, build your reservoir before you build your decorations. This doesn't mean living like a monk and never enjoying your money. It means paying your future self first. Even a small, consistent amount set aside for savings or investments before spending on wants can completely change your financial trajectory over time, because that money gets the maximum number of years to grow. Third, remember that almost nobody can actually tell the difference between someone with real wealth and someone who just looks wealthy. The person driving the flashy car might be drowning in debt. The person in the modest car might be quietly on track for financial freedom. Since you can't actually verify anyone's finances by looking at them, comparing your life to a stranger's visible spending is comparing yourself to a mirage. And finally, redefine what impressive actually means to you. Instead of chasing the admiration of strangers who will forget you in 5 seconds, chase the freedom of one day not needing anyone's approval to feel secure. That freedom, being able to handle an emergency, take a career risk, or retire early, is a kind of rich that no one can see from the outside, but you'll feel it every single day of your life. So the next time you feel that little pull to buy something just to keep up, just to look a certain way in front of people who honestly aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are, pause for a second. Ask yourself, am I filling my reservoir, or am I just decorating a house with no foundation? Because true wealth was never loud. It was never meant to be seen. It's built quietly, one unnoticed decision at a time, by people who understood a simple truth. You can spend your whole life trying to look rich to everyone else, or you can spend a fraction of that energy actually becoming free. And one day, you won't need to look rich at all, because you simply will be.